And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sheep Shear podcast. Here we talk about people, politics, and popular culture. I am your host, Austin Creed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today we got a really interesting one, and I gotta tell you, I'm gonna try to make my points without losing it, but there's no guarantees because this one got me fuming. This one's got me really angry, so we'll see how long I can keep it under control. But before I potentially blow a gasket on the air, I want to let everybody know that this is a really tough show. And if you're a Christian, this will definitely get under your skin. For those of you who are new, I want to welcome you to the channel. Wherever you're listening to, maybe you're on YouTube, you're on Rumble, maybe you're listening to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. Welcome in, and I appreciate you being here. I ask a lot of questions. I make a lot of comments throughout the show, and if you have anything you want to bring to my attention, you can direct it over to the comment section or to Twitter, where my handle is at Austin Creed. Over there, you'll find me, you'll find the community, and you can interact with me over there. That's where I'm at the most. So, without further ado, we're going to hop right into this. And, folks, I got to admit, this is a really tough show for me to do because I love California. Trust me, I grew up here. I love the state. It's a beautiful place. Most people are relatively nice, at least in the area that I'm in. I can't speak for your area. But the views, gorgeous. The beach, gorgeous. The politics, yeah, not so much. Now, normally, I look at whatever Dianne Feinstein or Nancy Pelosi said for the day, or Gavin Newsom, that lying SOB, and I could get on with my day and get a good laugh. And I gotta tell you, some of the stuff they say, along with what Occasional Cortex, you know her as AOC, the kid from Queens, yeah. I can either look at what they said on Twitter and get a good laugh. I gotta tell you, what they say in sincerity is often more hilarious than actual comedy. It's really good. But this one got me under my skin. So, my family are huge Warriors fans, as you can tell by the Klay Thompson jersey sitting behind me. You can tell we're big Warriors fans. Well, it turns out that the Chase Center is now going to host the infamous, what is the group called? Oh, that's it. That's right. The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. For those of you who don't know who they are, consider yourselves lucky, but that's about to come to an end. They are nuns, not actual nuns. They are drag queens who dress up as nuns. Yes, you heard me right. They are drag queens who dress up as nuns. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. For those of you who have not heard of this group, they came into the news because the Dodgers were not going to allow them to come to their stadium. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? They're going to actually stand up to the Purple Mafia? We can't have that. They're going to actually stand up to the fascists. They're going to actually stand up to these people who bully everybody who doesn't agree with them. They're really going to stand up to them? Well, it turns out that not only did the Dodgers apologize and let them come in to their event, but now the Chase Center, the Warriors, are now going to let them come into their stadium. Yes, that's right. Look, I am fully aware of satire, alright? I do it sometimes on the show. A lot of political commentators do it all the time. But there's a difference between satire across the board and just focusing on one group, okay? If these so-called Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence not only made fun of nuns, but they made fun of Muhammad, they made fun of Jews, they made fun of both Christians, Jews, Muslims, they made fun of Buddhism, they made fun of Hinduism, they made fun of Mormons and everybody else, they made fun of everybody equally, like you see on shows like Family Guy, The Simpsons, South Park. If they did the same thing, but in a live audience arena, that's different. Okay, at least they're making fun of everybody equally, and everybody gets hit a little bit. So it's at least equal across the board. Well, no. What they're doing is they're just attacking Christians. What they're doing is just attacking the Catholic Church. That's what they're doing. They're making fun of you. They're making fun of God's house. And not only that, they're spiting it on top of it all. Let me ask you something. Do you think that this same group, or a group with a similar ideology, do you think that they would dress like Moses? Do you think they would dress like Muhammad? Do you think they would dress as a Buddhist monk? Yeah, I don't think so. And yet they seem to have the gall to wear a nun's habit and everything else. Catholic Church, apparently it's open season on them, but it's not open season on Muslims. It's not open season on Jews. It's not open season on Buddhists. It's not open season on Hindus or Voodoo or anyone else. Everybody else, no. You can't do that. That's bad. But Christians, you can do that all day. I guess they're taking a page from Larry David's playbook when he made a skit on peeing on a crucifix and peeing on a picture of Jesus. Yes, it really happened. You can look it up. What is it with people thinking that they can just make fun of Christians? And not only are we going to be laughing at it, they expect us to think, yeah, it's really funny. Yeah, you're making fun of my entire religion and my way of life, but yes, it's very funny. Like I said, if it was a South Park episode when they used to make fun of Jesus, but they also made fun of Muhammad, they also made fun of Mormonism, they make fun of everybody. Not the same thing as a group that literally says they make fun of Catholics and they make fun of Christians. It's not funny. It's not funny, and not only is it not funny, it's being put out. Look, I'm gonna coin a term right now. San Francisco is the new Sodom. For those of you who know the Bible, Sodom and Gomorrah, San Francisco is the new Sodom. It is the new rest haven, the new Sin City of America. For those of you who have never been to the city, I wouldn't recommend coming here. It's out of control. It's disgusting. Feces in the streets, needles, bums in the streets everywhere. You got this buffoonery, drag queens dressing as nuns out here in these streets. The whole thing is out of control. And yet, what is it with Pride Month? Is it because it's Pride Month they think they could just do whatever they want? They could just crap on everybody and get away with it? Oh, of course no. It's not everybody. They're not going to go after the Muslims. No, of course not. They're not going to go after the Jews. No. They'll just go after the Christians. Now, when you're just going to single out the single biggest religion on the planet, what kind of marketing strategy is that? Now, genuinely, I want to know. What in the world could they possibly be thinking? I understand. Look, as someone who makes their business off of controversy, which is me, this should be something that I could do when it comes to controversy, making a very controversial decision. I could do it. That's my business. But they follow the business strategy of not having any controversy, if at all possible. Because the more controversy you have, the more people you will isolate from buying your product or participating in your service. And yet here they are, attacking the biggest religion in the world, not just in the country, but in the world, and thinking that it's not going to cause any backlash. Or, oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's the whole point. The whole point is for the controversy, because any news is good news, right? Apparently so. Look, I want to dive into the story. And look, another horrible thing about California is this. I'm going to call it this whole show is going to be called the Golden State Sewer Pipe. Because every single local paper that I ever see in California is a left-wing rag that might as well have been written by Karl Marx or Lenin or Engels or anyone else along those lines of just pure, unadulterated propaganda and communism. Disgusting. Well, look, I'm going to share the screen. The San Diego Union Tribune. In other words, a throwaway rag. They say that the Dodgers, now like I mentioned earlier, the Dodgers were the first ones to come under fire for this. The Dodgers shouldn't sign with the quote-unquote homophobic Catholics, and they should invite the drag nuns. Question, real quick. Hi, yes, Austin Creed, question for the San Diego Union Tribune. Would you potentially write another article? Let's just say, in a hypothetical world, one that will never exist because they're a bunch of, cravens. They're a bunch of atheistic cravens because they're never going to do this. But let's say, in a hypothetical world, there was a drag team, a drag group, who decided they wanted to model their costumes off of traditional Arabian. And not only that, they wanted to make fun of Muhammad. They wanted to make fun of Islam. Do you think that if, let's say, the Dodgers banned this group in a hypothetical world, now again, this is just a parallel universe, one that will never happen because they're all a bunch of cravens and cowards. But let's just say, hypothetically speaking here, that the Dodgers also banned this group that wasn't about drag nuns, it was drag Muhammad. Do you think that the so-called San Diego Union Tribune would say that they should invite these drag Muhammads or drag Moseses? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. They'd be saying, you know what? I get to see people on CNN. Well, Wolf, I think it's hate speech, and I think it's very anti-Semitic on top of it all, and I think this is definitely part of a right-wing conspiracy to really get those Jews, man. I'm telling you. It's definitely about that. As a Jew myself, I don't understand how how guys like Wolf Blitzer, he's the worst of our kind, by the way. He knows what he's doing. He's a smart guy. But yet has the nerve to lie and pretend like the Nazis were right-wingers and that the left-wingers are the best friends of the Jews. No, they're not the best friends of the Jews. The Nazis were left-wingers who threw the Jews in gas chambers. For those of you who've never read a history book. Oh, look, I haven't even read this article yet. Look right here. If you're a right-wing Catholic in the United States who professes to follow the way of Christ, what should you do in these troubled days? Well, definitely not support drag queens who are dressing as nuns, I'll tell you that. Shouldn't you go down to the U.S.-Mexican border to help asylum seekers? No! No, you shouldn't do that! Hey, who wrote this? Mr. Gustavo what is that? Arellano. Sorry, hopefully I didn't pronounce that wrong. I probably did. I don't know who you are, but let me ask you something. Would you invite illegal aliens into your house? Would you accept these so-called asylum seekers into your house? I doubt it. I highly doubt that, and yet you're going to tell me as a right-winger that I should do that? Shame on you, but I know you have no shame. Let's keep going. Oh, goodness. Here we go. It says the latest in the wave of Catholic immigrants who have replenished church pews in this country since the days of Lord... Okay. What's this guy's point? Shouldn't you visit homeless people? Another misnomer. Homeless is an invented term by the left-wingers, as in everyone is somehow entitled to a home. I didn't read that in the Constitution. Did you? Did you read anywhere in the U.S. Constitution that said that you're entitled to a home? I read that we're entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Not a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And I don't remember saying that in the Bible either, where you're entitled to a home. I don't remember Jesus saying that thou shalt have free housing. I don't remember hearing that part. Maybe I missed that sermon. Said, should you visit the homeless people and offer them food, clothing, and shelter? They don't want food, clothing, and shelter, schmuck. They want drugs. They want drugs. What are you talking about? They want drugs and mental health treatment. What are you talking about with this garbage? This is a bunch of garbage. To fulfill the passage of the... now I'm going to get lectured on the scripture by someone who's probably never read the Bible one time. They had to Google it. They had to Google, Where can I find scripture about helping people who are in need? Oh, the Gospel of Matthew. Okay, I'll write that. I guarantee you that's what they did. The care for strangers. Do you care for strangers? It sounds like you hate right-wingers. Well, you seem to be a scholar on the New Testament, and yet here you are knocking right-wingers who are strangers. You don't know them, but here you are telling me to care for strangers. Meanwhile, you don't seem to care for right-wingers. Oh, goodness. Is this person... Oh, this is good. Here's this. As a progressively minded Catholic, in other words, I'm a communist, who reads and hears the other side to challenge my own views, you couldn't even quote... You didn't even read the Gospel of Matthew long enough to find a verse where that sides with the statement that you were making about helping the poor. You couldn't even look up Jesus' statement of the poor you'll always have with you. You couldn't even look that up and cite it page and verse. You couldn't even quote the sutra. You didn't even look up that much. What are you talking about? You challenge your own views. You lying piece of garbage, you. What are you talking about? They say, I've shaken my head in sadness, as those on the right have largely chosen the latter. Oh, right, because it's always us evil right-wingers. You see, us right-wingers are the problem in this country, and if all of us were to, I don't know, just disappear like a Thanos snap, and all of us were just to be eliminated, not painfully, of course. We don't want anything like the Nazis had. We don't want anything like that. We just want to re-educate these Neanderthal right-wingers. And once we do that, they'll see how wonderful and inclusive and loving the world actually is. Right. This is what passes for objective journalism. I can't believe it. Always a spiteful bunch against my kind and anything that derives from what they consider traditional conservative Catholics. Oh my... I'm done with this garbage. No, we're done with that. I'm not gonna read this. I'm not gonna read this garbage anymore. This is why your newspapers are going in the toilet. I'm trying to read this for content, and I can't even get past the first page without turning it off because it's so stupid and horribly written. This is why your newspapers are going in the toilet, and people are tuning into shows like mine. I just don't get it. Why do people defend this debauchery? Why do people defend this debauchery and hate the church? Including people who say they go to church. They'll spit on their Bible, they'll spit on the flag, they'll spit in Jesus' face, while saying that they're not doing it and they're trying to do a service to the religion. Whenever you hear the word progressive, that equals communist. Just so you know. For anybody who wants to know, whenever someone says they're progressive, that's code word for either a socialist or a communist. And if they say they're a democratic socialist, you know that they're basically a Nazi without a gun. And the first chance they get, that's what they're going to do to you. You know that, right? Just look at the Red Guards of China. That's what's coming in this country. The Red Guards in China that Mao Zedong used, from elementary school kids to university students, he used them to control the entire population. It's unbelievable to me that people don't know history, but apparently they need me to teach it to them because they either A, weren't taught this, or B, they weren't listening when they were actually in high school or in college. Oh, God. Oh, look at this. San Francisco Chronicle, a rag, a mimeograph sheet from the Democrat machine. When the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence were first introduced to the San Francisco Chronicle readers in the 1980s. Wow. It was for an act of charity. Oh, look at that. They care so much about the community. Well, clearly they care about Christians, too. They like them so much they're copying them and mocking them. They invite. It says the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence invites you to a bingo disco benefit for the gay Cuban refugees. Wow, what a fringe group that is. The announcement read, "Okay, I don't care about this garbage history that you made up back in the 80s. No one cares about this anymore. Oh, this was good. Since the founding in San Francisco in 1979, the group known for Catholic drag, philanthropy, and street theater has engaged in joy and peaceful protest on behalf of the disenfranchisement and powerless." Oh my! What's with all this this garbage, this stupid my goodness, this is all chicken block garbage. A Chronicle archive search for the sisters' history reveals they were ahead of their time. Oh, of course, they're such geniuses. It really takes genius to look at a nun, an actual nun, a pious person, and say, you know what? I want to be the most debaucherous piece of human filth possible. I'm going to totally reverse engineer that entire argument, that entire stance, ideology, and costume, and I'm going to ape that for myself while trying to get rich off of it. While pretending like I'm down with the people, like every good communist vermin. They were ahead of their time on issues now entrenched in our city's culture and identity. So apparently, making fun of Christians, being homosexual, and dressing as a woman is part of the city's culture and identity now. You hear this? Not Americanism, not the gold rush, not anything of actual substance or validity, just a bunch of garbage and degeneracy. Shows no malice to others. Oh, really? They don't show malice to others while making fun of Christians. They are making fun of Christians. Oh, but it's not malice now. Oh, no, no, no. They're just atheists who hate. They're atheistic homosexuals who hate Christians. But of course there's no malice. No, no, no. But if you were to do the same exact thing, just replace the nun outfit with a Mohammed costume, well, then there's malice. You see the double standard going on there? Oh, they always responded to hate with love. Oh, right, because love is love as long as the right person is using it, right? It's the same thing with racism. Oh, well, if a black person kills a white person, that's not racism. That's just them fighting the evil white patriarchy. Versus if it's in reverse, it's white supremacy. But don't tell that to the know-nothings at the San Francisco Chronicle who want to tell me that it's not hatred to make fun of Christians, but if Christians make fun of gays or tell gays that, hey, according to my religion, I don't agree with your lifestyle, oh, well, that's hatred. That's not love for their religion. That's hatred for you. You see how that works? When they do it against you, it's love for themselves, not hatred for you. But if it's done in reverse, it's hatred against them and not love for yourself. You see the double standard there, ladies and gentlemen? There it is, right there. Now, you may be asking yourself, Austin, why are you doing this to yourself today? Why do you care so much? What are you doing? I mean, it's just all good fun, right? It's not hurting anybody. Come on, lighten up a little bit. Well, no, I'm not going to lighten up. I'm not going to lighten up at all. In fact, I'm going to double down because guess what? I've had enough of this garbage. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people making fun of Christians. I'm sick of people making fun of Jesus. I'm sick and tired of people taking a dump on my religion and expecting me to laugh it off like it's all in good fun. It's not in good fun. They're just trying to make fun of me and degrade me as if I'm stupid. And that's what communists do. They think that if you're religious, then you're dumb. That's what communists think because that's what Karl Marx preached. Is you're the equivalent of an opium addict if you are a religious person. It's disgusting and I'm sick of it. I promised I'd try to keep it together today, but it's hard because this is a topic I care about quite a bit, ladies and gentlemen of the Sheep Get Sheared podcast. This is not a laughing matter. Like I said, if this was like South Park or Family Guy or The Simpsons where everybody's open season and everybody's fair game and you make fun of everybody equally, then I wouldn't be doing the show today. I'd be saying, okay, you know what? At least they're making fun of everybody. It's all just comedy. It's all blah blah blah. Whatever. I can look the other way. Well, I'm not going to look the other way when they're only attacking Christians because they know they can get away with it. Versus if they did the same thing for Jews or Muslims or Buddhists or Hindus or Voodoos or anybody else, then there would be backlash. There would be boycotts. There would be a lot of issues coming their way. But because it's Christians, you can do that all day. Because most Christians are nice people who mind their own business, and instead of trying to work the system, they actually go to work. They can get made fun of, and because they're docile, they think they can get away with it, and it's not going to do them any harm. Well, let me tell you something. The boycotts against a lot of companies who are trying to push the same garbage that they're pushing are receiving a lot of economic backlash right now. And if you think this is happening in a vacuum, you're mistaken. This is just, it shows that San Francisco is becoming the new Sodom of our time. Full of degeneracy, full of everything atheist, against God, full of sinful behavior, full of debauchery, full of the worst things you could possibly imagine. And yet here we are, glorifying it in the Chase Stadium, in the Dodger Stadium, and everywhere else in the name of Pride Month. Why don't they just have pride in the fact that they are able to be who they want to be in America, the most free society to have ever existed of all time? Why are they not celebrating America? Why are they not saying, hey, you know what? You military men and women who sacrificed your lives, we're going to celebrate you because you're the people who allowed us to live in a country where we are allowed to express ourselves, we're allowed to live the lifestyle we want to live, and we don't have to worry about being thrown off a roof or burned alive like in Saudi Arabia. And that's why we're dedicating this show to you. But no. Instead, they're going to take a dump on Christianity, they're going to take a dump on the flag, and all the while, if you complain about it, oh, you're just a mean right-winger. And you probably voted for Trump too. I'm sick of the sewer pipe coming out of Hollywood. I'm sick of the sewer pipe coming out of the entertainment industry. I'm tired of people mocking Christianity. I'm tired of people making fun of my religion and making fun of my God, and I'm sick of it. The intolerance of the so-called tolerant people is astounding that no one else seems to be calling this out. Instead, because I stand up for my religion in a respectful way, they're then going to tell me that I'm the bigot, I'm the bad person, and that I deserve to be boycotted. I deserve to have all the backlash directed at me, not them, for doing it. My friends, do not indulge this buffoonery, this degeneracy, and make your voice heard at the ballot box. Make your voice heard with how you use your dollar. And do not let these people shame you into siding with them. Do not let it happen, because they will try everything, as they do to me every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you making it to the end of the show today. If you have any comments or criticism you want to direct my way, feel free to head over to the comment section or go to Twitter at Austin Creed, and over there you can voice your love, your hatred, or whatever else you have for me. But until next time, my friends, God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless this wonderful country called the United States of America, in which I have my pride this month. You guys take care of yourselves. Peace.